Tennessee.
All right, everybody, what's going on? Big Matt Diamondine is in the house. Guys, we got a fun-filled packed show for you today. The West is the king in football right now for the SEC. Bama looked a little slow there in some of the quarters. The Plainsmen down there at Auburn, they did look a little better. Still couldn't get the win. Hey, Rock Talk Jayhawks are playing and jumping right along. Guys, we got so much to talk about. Join right in here with us on the show. Matt Todd Show, best sports duo going. And you can find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, anywhere else. So let's just rock right along and hang in here with us. Let's have a good time. Okay, what's up, everybody? We appreciate everybody stopping by here and checking it out, the Matt and Todd Show. Guys, we had a good time at the Fall Festival.
Yeah, it was.
Saturday. We did our local stuff. Our high school went through all the scores and picks, picked our player of the week. Again, congratulations, Keelan Higgins over at Gainesville.
Keelan, he did a good job. He deserved it.
Yeah, what was his finish? And had about 200 yards for the night.
Hold on.
He had about 200 yards for the night. And
on 9 carries.
On 5 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. Wow, what a great game
Keelan
Keelan
had. An interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And me and Matt saw him make 3 or 4 tackles behind the line. Probably more tackles than that. But just 3 or 4 simply behind the line.
Yeah, and if you want to see highlights of any of those games, it's real easy. Just go over here to our YouTube channel. I got Gales on Woodville highlights, and then you can also. I did one for Spring Garden in Talladega County. We just watched some shows that Talladega County, and Coach Howard and company played the JV starting the second quarter for all through, and I don't know because Chap didn't take but a couple of snaps.
No, he only run it twice. Didn't
Yeah.
He? Yeah, Bates run it like 4 times. Cam 1. They had 7 carries between them.
Yeah.
So.
Coach Howard getting in some of those young players, which is a good thing.
Oh, yeah, always.
So, Dean, what we was talking about, the West is king. I just, they ain't nothing much else to talk about. Guys, okay, let's just put it this way. Missouri is the lower-class Western team, yes?
Yes.
They're not considered to be a high-ranked West power.
No.
Okay. Well, they almost beat Georgia, and I know almost only counts in horseshoes and in hand grenades, but it is what it is. They didn't go ahead till 4 minutes left, right?
4 minutes.
4 minutes in the game, your number one Dawgs went ahead of a non-ranked. The Missouri's not good. Missouri, when's the last time they had a recruiting class in the top 50, 40?
Oh, they hadn't been good in 6 or 7 since Cam was there.
Yeah, and Auburn
Cam
beat them
was at Auburn,
50-0.
Yeah. I know they won the East a couple of times, but no. Is there a chance that Missouri may be a little better and we're giving them credit? I'm just saying. Possible. They're playing well. I mean, they should have beat Auburn.
That
Probably
could be.
should have beat Georgia.
Yeah.
Could have. Go ahead.
It is.
Well, it's just a funny thing to me, and I'm not taking nothing away. Alabama does the same thing. Georgia mysteriously did what they had to do when they had to do it.
I mean, it's a battle of the SEC, the East, Georgia and Missouri.
Right.
And I'm just telling you, how they play, if that East, and that's the best of the East and the worst of the East.
Right.
That's right. If Alabama played Vanderbilt, what was the score there? 106-0. Could have been.
Yeah, could have been.
That's the point I'm making here. And second point is the second team, Ole Miss and Kentucky.
Okay. Great game.
East and West, top-ranked teams. Ole Miss pretty much run that game. Pretty much.
Yeah, Kentucky came back, but Ole Miss was in complete control early.
Yeah.
And Kentucky did make a great comeback and probably had a chance to win. We saw them throw a touchdown and go ahead, and they called it back for a receiver not being set on the line.
Bad call. Bad call.
We saw it. I mean, okay,
Just
he wasn't 110% set, but he was not. He wasn't dancing or anything. He wasn't completely set.
Kentucky left the ball on the field. They could have won the game. Hand back, fumble out.
But I did feel like Ole Miss controlled the game.
Yeah. Same way when Missouri. I knew it when they went down there. They're fixing to score to go up ahead more, and they had a lineman or something move on a false start or something. I looked just talking to myself in there and told the Dawgs, Jack, I was like, that's ball game. Mm-hmm. And he, of course, said, I don't know. They may have. I said, no. Trust me. Yeah, that makes a difference. So the West is definitely the better of the conference.
I would think so, yeah. I mean, Georgia's the best. They've struggled the last 2 weeks, you got different people explaining that. And then I've heard somebody saying that's a good point. It's hard to get up for these games.
That is true. And then somebody's trying to say, well, I don't know, Kent State, they're pretty, shut up. I don't want to hear that. Don't tell me Kent State has got some kind of apocalyptic reading like they're rubbing
Kent State's not bad, but they still shouldn't be playing
you're not
Georgia.
Rubbing the crystal ball and telling me some kind of crazy crap.
Yeah.
I'm not going along with that. So you can jump past and go through
they're
whatever.
They're just not playing well right now.
Yeah.
That's the facts. That's the truth. They're just not playing well. They're not scoring in the red zone. That's their problem. They're not putting points. They had 1 million yards. They had 500 yards, man. Missouri didn't have any yards, but yet they nearly won. Georgia's not scoring in the red zone.
26-22 was the final. Bennett was 24 for 44. Mm-hmm. That's a low QBR, actually about a 73 or 74.
No touchdown.
312. McIntosh 65, Milton 63, had 169 total rushing. Bowers 5 catches for 66, Washington 3 for 64, McConkey
our man
4 catches for 40 yards. Mm-hmm. Defensively, DeMoss Johnson had 8 and Starks had 6. They had 481 total yards, 312 passing, 481 total. They only rushed for. They only rushed for 169.
They're running Milton and McIntosh mostly, right?
Now
here's hadn't thrown a touchdown in 2 weeks, man.
No.
2 weeks.
I know. I don't know if they're trying just to try new stuff because they're playing these less than teams. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Cook 20 for 32 had a great game, 192 touchdown. Shander 89, and then the Pete kid had 37 rush. Cook was minus 11 on rush because of the sacks. But Lovett caught 6 for 84. Cooper, 5 catches for 55. And the Cornell had 2 receiving fumbles. That cost them the game, turned the ball over. Defensively, Charlie had 13 tackles, so they got some players making plays. They had 294 total.
See, that's 2 weeks in a row Georgia's give up less than 300 yards. I'm telling you, it's their offense not scoring in the red zone. He's not thrown a touchdown pass in 2 weeks. None. He's only thrown 5 this year.
192 passing for him, they only had 100 yards rushing.
Wow.
They had the ball for 25 minutes. Georgia had the ball for about 35, but Georgia turned the ball. They did have turnovers.
Turnovers are killing them too.
Turnovers. Right. No scoring in the red zone. I think that's simple. I mean, when you make banana pudding, you just need banana-flavored pudding and bananas. It's pretty simple to see what you need to do. Run the football and don't turn it over.
Sounds like they're throwing too much. 44 times.
Well, is it safe to say...
That's a lot.
Is it safe to say that maybe old Uncle Matt might have been right about, Staquinus Bennett?
Who?
Staquinus.
Well, I think he's good.
We both think he's good.
But I don't think he ought to be throwing 44 times.
He's not a gunslinger. Stop trying to make him. Stop trying to get him. They're trying to win him the Heisman. That's what it feels like to me.
I think he's done with the Heisman.
Hashtag Uncle Lou. Enjoy watching his YouTube show. Go over and give him a lot of crap a lot of times, but that's what he calls him. It's his nephew, Staquinus Bennett.
Right.
So Staquinus, Uncle Lou, is not producing. And Uncle Lou did put up a video right after halftime. He was sick. He's worried. He's like, guys, we're fixing to blow it. If we lose this game to Mizzou,
you're done.
They're dropping out of the top 5.
Yeah, well, you're probably not going to make that playoff. I mean, you're going to have to beat. You're going to have to win out.
If Bama lost to Vanderbilt,
they're probably done.
That's not good. Now, is Vanderbilt and Missouri, or you want to compare? Are they apples and oranges? Or are they apples and apples?
I'm seeing if we're getting cussed yet. We're not. I just think, and we both agree, and I don't know if people agree with us or not. We hope so. They're throwing the ball too much with Bennett. Nothing against him. I think he's fantastic.
He's
good. I think
good.
he is underrated. I don't think he's the Heisman Trophy winner.
I think they're trying to win him a Heisman or something.
And,
it just looks.
I think he's throwing too much. 44. Let's look. What was those stats? How many?
24 for 44.
Okay, I got the stats right here. Now look at this.
74 QBR, 312 passing. I think they're just trying too hard.
Oh my gosh, you aren't gonna believe this. And on, some of these guys are called pass plays. 44 passes, 35 runs. 35 runs. They had 3 backs with over 50 yards on 35 runs. What if you only had Bennett throw 24 times and ran it 55 times? I mean,
well, against Missouri, I mean, you would think that you would be able to do something like that. You'd think that you could, you could do. It wouldn't be a problem.
Well, I think that's what happened. You're probably right. Hey, we're gonna throw it around. We're gonna prepare Bennett and these receivers for bigger games, and it just didn't work.
Yes,
it didn't work.
They're trying to get ready to now they got Auburn next week, and I got stats on that game. We got plenty to talk about that, and Dean's got Bama, and we're going to talk about. There's a quiet team out there, guys. So if you're interested in what we got to say, hang around. This is definitely going to be good. There's a quiet team, and they're just hanging around in the mix, and they're not saying a whole lot, and the media's not giving them a whole lot of talk, but they're hanging around out there. Before we get into that, Florida did win 52-17. AR-15 had 240 for offense.
I thought they put that game off.
2 touchdowns.
Huh.
Now they played today.
Oh, I thought they put it off again.
Mm-mm. Yeah, they played today.
Okay.
They beat
I'm mistaken. They didn't win.
They beat East Washington 52-17. So
I figured
they played a good game. And another mention, Tulane, the Wave, did beat Houston 27-24.
Yes, that was a good game.
It was a great game.
That was a good game.
But now we're talking about standings and how the West is king. I believe that, and I'll meet you out in the street and we'll fight about it. I don't care. But Pac-12 wise, wow, USC,
what about that Pac-12?
UCLA, Utah, Oregon, Washington. That's your 5 for the Pac-12. USC, they're pretty scrappy right now.
I think they got a good team.
Caleb had over 200.
They're going to gain yards, but I didn't kill them like I thought they would.
I know.
Arizona State. Now, Arizona State was 1-4 and just had a coaching change.
Yes.
I mean, just fired him the other day.
Yeah, on the field. Like, walked out right in the middle of the...
Really?
Yeah, you're going to be changed positions.
I'd heard that his coaches were sending their schemes to the opponents.
Why?
How could you be hated that bad? What was he doing? Does anybody know? Somebody please give us some
Edwards
info on this. Why would a coaching staff... You're pretty hated if you're giving the head coach his playing away.
That's kind of the top 5 for them. Big 12, Kansas, K-State, TCU, Oklahoma State, and Texas round out the top 5. All those teams are looking pretty good. I mean,
what about TCU and Kansas and Kansas State? Wow.
Yeah, TCU is the Horned Frogs. They're
undefeated. 55-24, man.
Not just a win, but dude, I put in the comments on the intro there, the big game boomers. Yeah, I got boomer centered. They got super boomer centered. What's up, Mark? How you doing today, man?
It's 2 weeks in a row for Venables. Losing, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't see how that can go on. But Kansas leading out there for the Big 12. Not basketball, guys. We're talking about football.
5-0 quarterback's a Heisman Trophy candidate. I'm not saying he's going to win it, but he is a candidate now. He's got the same name. No, never mind. His name's Jalen Daniels. LSU's quarterback's Jaden Daniels. My bad.
The Big Ten, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State.
Coming on.
Maryland Terps, and Indiana Hoosiers.
Indiana got beat yesterday.
Yeah.
Nebraska beat them.
Yeah, they're not good. They lost Penix. He's out at Washington at the Huskies. He's out there playing with the Fighting Wolves.
Lost his first game the other night. Didn't have a good game.
No, yeah. I don't know.
He was leading the nation in passing.
He didn't. He looked sick. I mean, like maybe he had a
flu or something.
Yes.
He didn't look good.
Yeah. Now SEC wise, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky. As for running east, west is Bama, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. And I do got a surprise that nobody's talking about. That's why you tune in right here, guys.
I want to hear.
We got some guys that people are kind of missing. This guy owns FBS records, and nobody's talking about it.
Will Rogers.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's talking about what's going on. I don't know how could you miss that?
I'm just guessing. Is that who it is?
Yeah, we'll
nobody's
find
talking
out.
about Mississippi State, huh?
I mean, they're not getting. They're third. I just don't get it at all.
Well, I want to send you. That's weird you said that because I got a message from one of our biggest fans.
Why he does that?
Brian Knapp.
The Oregon beats Stanford 45-27. Both though he was 16 for 29. He threw two touchdowns, had about 160 yards. Again, appreciate y'all all for stopping by Matt and Todd Show, Spotify, Applecast, Instagram, and all our listeners on podcasts. We got a lot of new listeners, Dane. It's been going out nationwide.
This is Brian Knapp, and this is about Mississippi State, and he's right. And I think this may be why, to answer your question. I love how Mississippi State looks like they did yesterday, and in 2 weeks they'll look like complete trash.
Yeah.
There's some truth to that.
Yeah.
I think it's the offense. Do you not?
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of like when Georgia Tech run the option.
He throws the crap out of the ball. He throws it so much. I mean, it's not even funny. I mean,
Rogers is good.
Dude, we're talking about leading more 300-yard games than anybody in the country.
See what he's thrown for this year.
Why? I got it right here.
Oh, you got how many?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do that all in that bit. I'll save it for them if they want to know. You can't around listen. Yeah.
I didn't run you bit, did I?
No.
Oh, okay.
Bo Nix won the game. Talked about them beating Stanford.
Okay.
Had to mention them. They played a good game. Defensively, Stanford's not great. I mean, they give up what they give up. And that's kind of...
Did Bo not rush for about 150 yards? Wow.
Well, he's a good player, and he's just not going to get a lot of credit. But
no, and since Georgia, he is absolutely... And I know somebody's going to say, well, they're not playing anybody. He's just destroying folks.
Yeah.
He's 300-400 a game.
Yes. Yeah.
Every game. And he did throw in that bad interception against Georgia. But he threw one. I mean, this mistake-free football is just driving me crazy. That's expected.
That's yours. Jayhawks won 14-11 over Iowa State.
Wow, good defense.
Ole Miss, Kentucky, 22-19, good game. Mississippi State, we talked about that, 42-24 over A&M. Clemson, 30-13, get that win. Tell us about DJ Uiagalelei.
He's getting her done, man. He's just getting her done, man.
He's poking along.
He's
not beat. He's not
motivated him.
Well, I called him the other day. You know,
I won't say exactly how many.
We got that kind of touch.
Well, the fact is, and I think what people don't understand, you're not just. This guy was supposed to be the next.
I know. That's what Bob. That's why the talk comes of being hard on him is because.
He actually had a good game with his legs yesterday, not so much with his arms.
It's because we expected so much. Sam Roberts come on, Auburn coach. Hello, Zach. What's going on? Jeff Bicuspid. And he's on as of right now, they're treating Bryce day to day. And no, it's a sprained shoulder. He has been through this injury before, and he has responded well within a few days. Sam, you can relocate there what you meaning by Auburn coach, question mark.
He's wanting to know what we think about him. I think you leave him alone for now.
Well, I don't think it matters if Lou Holtz or Steve Spurrier or Nick Saban or whoever comes and coaches at Auburn. They're not going to be successful because those boosters are not going to leave them alone.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
Right.
I mean, it is.
9-3 at best right now.
Yeah.
But back to Uiagalelei, he had a good game with his legs. Not a great passing game, but they did win. He's not the main thing with him is he's not throwing interceptions.
We're hard on him because, like you just said, he was so expected to be.
Yes, and he did not have
Trevor Lawrence 2.0, and he's just not even close.
No, and even and I'll say this, he is having a very good year, but he's still not unbelievable. He's solid.
Well, and I think some of this, and I don't want to get into this talk. Me and Zach, Hot Wheels there, Minyard there, we talked about this in gym. Arch Manning. I studied deeply into Arch Manning months ago. I got blasted on Twitter for calling him a 3, probably maybe 4-star. I got destroyed by 30 people.
But you said they don't play a lot of teams.
No,
right?
And then a month later, then it comes out. Well, maybe he is a 4-star. Like, did my challenge just go watch him play?
Yeah.
So is Uiagalelei. My point is his that 5-star was a little foggy. The 5th star because of who he was playing.
Right.
Did they overrating him a little bit?
Because he's playing out in Cal.
Yes.
Against that Mater D or Mater Day, whatever, however you pronounce it, St. John Bosco, De La Salle.
Polytech, place where Nico's from. The Deontay kid that's going to Oregon.
There's some great players.
He's from out there. I thought he's number one, and then Nico's one, and he's two. It's a close race. Y'all can go look him up. Deontay, he's committed to Oregon. Go watch his high school.
But
he's amazing. It's not even close to Arch Manning. Arch Manning couldn't even start on this team. He would be doing nothing but going and getting chin straps for these guys out there. It's not even close.
But I think people think because Bryce Young did play out there. Najee Harris played out there. They're great. But J.T. Daniels also played out there. He never lost a high school game. I mean, maybe one.
Yeah, no.
And J.T. Daniels, he's okay, but he's not great. So it's possible to play out there and be successful and not be great. Here's my question. If Uiagalelei had just been a 3-star, we would think he's doing great.
He's pretty good.
Yes, he's doing good.
And that is
he was the number 1 ranked quarterback in the nation.
It's 24/7's fault. It's these guys that pump these kids up. Good. Hello, Aaron. What's up? We appreciate you.
But I don't think he's not bad. But there was some hype around him.
That's why.
Yeah.
If they build a guy, hey, this is the best show you've ever seen in your life, the Matt Todd Show, and it is.
God, we're going to have to shoot fireworks out of our mouth when we come home.
I know. How do we get better? I come up with ways try to get. To get better every day.
I can catch him. Shoot bottle rockets to each other and catch it.
Or do the Bruce Lee nunchucks and lighting matches trick. I'm going to try that. Zach, come help us do that.
Swords on here, whatever.
Zach just lives around the corner over. I'm going to get him come over here and help me set that up.
Love the commentary. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Jeff. We do appreciate it.
A lot of that stuff when we were growing up.
Hey, look, those are some scores, and we'll go through another few games, and we'll talk about these.
Okay.
Nebraska 35-20 over Indiana. They get them a win. The locker room's going nuts. They're spraying champagne. They're eating chocolate chip cookies.
It's been through so much.
It's been tough.
Yeah, and I've still not heard anything. I've heard Matt Campbell from Iowa State. I've heard Urban Meyer. I've heard Hugh Freeze. I've heard...
The talk's died down this week.
I don't know. No, we have no idea.
But I do got another name for a coach but somewhere else that I'm going to get into when I do something later. If you want to know more about that, a very high prime time coaching candidate that could be headed to an SEC school. And people laugh, but I'll tell you why I like the idea. I'll tell you in a minute. Texas 30-28.
I was going to tell you one Nebraska story.
Yes.
And I got laughed off by our buddy.
Oh.
He did. Yes, tough. He did. He'll admit he did. And he may still stick by that. Years ago, when they were looking to hire, I felt like Nebraska should have hired Houston Nutt.
Yeah.
And just left it.
Yeah.
And they never even considered him, I don't guess. And, everybody has a right to their own opinion. He might have been right, but Brent thought it was silly. And I'm like, no, it's not. He runs the ball. This is what Nebraska needs.
Well, they got to recruit one.
That's true.
Can he recruit? That's the question.
He got McFadden and all them to Arkansas, which I know they were from there.
But. Yeah, and they paid him a little bit. And now you can legally pay them.
Of course, Malzahn was his coordinator, but I think he had to take Malzahn to the side and say, look, man, I was told this. I don't know if it's true. You got to start running with these cats we got. Like
Nick Saban got on the headset and cussed and said, run the effing ball. What the F are you doing?
They ran it after that. It sounded like that's what
you could read his lips. I'm pretty good lip reader. He said, what the F are you doing? Run the effing ball.
That was on the pass on the two.
And he got tipped up in the air. Y'all know the play I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He lost his cool.
He was mad over something.
I was saying the same thing. I wasn't that nasty about it. But so, yes, we're glad Nebraska. They're a brand, man. We want them to be good. We want to be good.
See them good again.
Texas 30-28 over West Virginia.
Good game.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I got to win. I watched highlights of it. His offense is amazing.
Oh, he's good.
They just don't play great defense.
Him and Kiffin are good.
They just don't play great defense. I'm going to skip this one
because they're the best two OCs in the game right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Riley, he's up there at 2 or 3 with them. Liberty, Dean, 38-24 over Old Dominion. Had a good game. We're going to do this other game as our key game. Jacksonville State Gamecocks, 35-28 over Kennesaw State. Had a lot of kids down there. Mr. Haygood, he had Nathan and the boys down there. I seen Kelly, and she was there at the game at Jacksonville State. It was like parent appreciation. They had kids coming from schools visiting. They win the game 35-20, and that's a good win for Coach Rod.
Kennesaw's not bad.
Coach Hot Rod gets a win. On a big day when you got a lot of stuff going on, it's kind of like homecoming, sort of. They had a lot of people there, a lot of stuff going on campus. He was doing interviews. You can go over there and look at them. They have North Alabama next. I succeed that they will win that game. Todd's going to do some talk about this next team. I'm going to skip that one. We talked about Georgia 26-21. Florida State 21. Wake Forest 31. Boy,
Wake Forest, Hartman.
I missed that one.
I'm looking at the stats.
And we'll go over our picks here in a minute. I missed that one.
I was going to say shout out to Isaac Foster from Somerville, 150 all-purpose yards against Jack State yesterday. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's good. We saw them play
Yes.
once, but his brother run the ball.
Yeah.
His twin brother was the running back.
Yeah, he was out against
Cedar
Bluff game when he come up here.
What were we just looking at? Florida State.
Yes, I missed that game. I thought Florida State would win.
Well, let's see the stats here. I want to see how good Hartman did. 234. They can put up the yards. 407. Travis threw for 281. Charlie Ward's son rushed for 87. Okay.
We'll do. I still got my other game to do. Dean's got two to talk about. Tell us about the new number one. Back at the AP, top of the AP.
Did they make they're back at number one?
Yeah, I sent you the.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Bama Tide, Roll Tide's back at number one. I guess. I mean, who else you gonna put up there? Georgia just didn't play good. Ohio State's they're bumping along. I wouldn't have had a problem if they put Ohio State one, put Bama two.
I was debating between Ohio State and Alabama, but I know we don't set the AP line, but not yet.
Well,
but
you never know. They get some secret call-ins here.
But, I mean, let's just be for real. Young goes out, and they score 35 points after he goes out.
That's why I put him one.
I mean,
I do my poll by the weeks, and he does his a little different. I do mine. I'm telling you about what I see. Your second-team quarterback comes in.
Your second-team quarterback.
On the road against a ranked team.
But now
it's so loud. Their quiet cadences ain't even hardly working.
But you and Jonathan said y'all were not worried. You and Jonathan McGath. But
yeah.
I got a little worried when it got 28-23, and I was griping the whole game because I kept telling Matt, I said Arkansas's not trying to do absolutely anything, and Matt said that's their game plan.
Pittman's
and it's going to wear on him, and it did.
He's Paul Benefield.
Yeah, it did. And Rocket Sanders ended up with 100 yards. Arkansas's passing game. Is Alabama's secondary that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Reaching with that left hand.
They did that twice.
Like you teach. Yeah. Kids want to reach right because they're right-handed. Yes,
they're
that good.
Reaching with their offhand.
Yes. Helms, that's your guy.
Yeah, I love him. I think
they're good.
Best player on that defense outside of Anderson.
And Jefferson, how many did he rush for? I mean, he didn't rush for no 70, 80 yards.
No, gosh, no.
They hemmed him up. He did break loose on some, which he's supposed to. He's a good football player.
165. Sanders had all their yards. He had 101.
Yeah.
And they were hard earned. But, Matt, that's just what I gotta go over these stats with you. From 28-23. This is after 28-23.
Slow, smooth, methodical. Run the football. Arkansas had a fantastic game plan. I love it. Just don't freak out. Keep it close. Play some defense. We'll get the ball back. And then their quarterback goes out. Pittman was like, we got a chance.
Right.
Wait a minute. That Milroe kid's pretty good.
Oh, my gosh. Matt, after it was 28-23, Alabama rushed for 225 yards.
Jeff said he was worried.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. But 225 after it was 28-23. Listen to this, Matt. A 76, 72, and a 67. Gibbs ended up with 206 career high. Milroe, 91 career high. Young threw for 173 while he was in. Milroe did not throw for many. Prentice, career high 92. Isaiah Bond, career high 76.
It ain't time for Milroe to throw yet.
No. I didn't think he threw bad.
Give him some time. He had one crazy throw. But give him, if he gets in a rhythm to play, I'm telling you, he's okay.
Man, have you heard the term one play can kill you? That's what happened yesterday. Alabama had 5 plays of over 50 yards. And the rest of the time, they really did nothing. I mean, as far as gaining yards. And 5 plays for over 300 yards. And I think that's where they won the game, these big plays.
Yes. And Coach O'Brien, he's a NFL style coach. He's going to overthink situations and ask Saban scream it to their headset, run the ball. Stop overcomplicating things. He makes things so complicated.
And Matt, you wouldn't believe Alabama. The average for a college football team is 60-something tackles a week when you figure up everybody's assists and everything. Take a guess how many Alabama had yesterday.
Yeah, it was over 80.
92.
Yeah, it was over 80, I know.
Kool-Aid, 6 tackles. Arnold, 6. Helm, 6. Moody, 8. Toa, 10. You still don't like him a lot,
No, he reads the defense wrong. He don't have enough butt on him.
He's in on a lot of assists.
Yeah,
he had 7 assists.
I'm just not a fan. That's okay though. I mean, it don't mean I wasn't a Mosley fan either. It's too little. His butt's too narrow.
Battle 8, Anderson 7, Otis 8, Young 6.
Otis had a good game.
Turner 8. That's ridiculous. And Brannick's 3. We hope he's okay because he's a good player too.
Yeah.
Arkansas did finish with 377, but I mean Alabama had 225 yards rushing in the fourth quarter, Matt. A 76, 72, and a 67-yard run.
Check mark. Offensive line, right?
Yeah, they rushed for 342 yards.
49, 26. I knew going into the game, I thought Bama would probably win by at least 2 touchdowns, 17 or so.
Win. I thought it'd be 35-21.
Because after seeing how Arkansas with A&M's defense is terrible, and the way they played Arkansas, I was like, man, Arkansas is going to win some games. I like them, and they're right outside my top 10.
Yes, I don't think they're a bad team. But I think you're right, and I think a lot of people are right. Not having Burks is killing them.
Yeah, it's different. They don't have a deep downfield sideline threat, and their running game is.
Sanders is good.
KJ has to be involved in their run game.
Yes,
and it's a lot to ask for a quarterback. Well, we need you to run for about 100 today, and throw for 200.
See,
against Alabama.
Yeah,
that's just probably not going to happen.
He's thrown for less than 400 in the last 2 weeks.
Yes,
he's struggling a little bit right now.
Yes,
but he is a good player. And everybody, even they said it yesterday, not having Traylon Burks. How good was Burks, man?
I know. He's a mess, dude. I mean, he just is.
But that's pretty much it. I think they look great. I mean, who scores 49 points and has 580 yards when their Heisman Trophy quarterback goes out?
Offensive line. It's the little things. Watch the line. Gibbs had those plays where he would cut in and out.
He's good.
Well, he had places to run yesterday.
He did.
That's the key. Coach Pittman, still good game plan.
It was.
His guys just didn't execute, and Alabama's D-backs were just a little. They give a little extra during practice during the week.
Oh, man,
they were a little better this week. If you catch them on that week 1, it would have been different.
Yeah, I mean, the Ewers did good against them.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think they're finding their identity. You know, they've got so many.
Yeah.
There's not just 3 of them. You got Helms, Battle, Kool-Aid.
You're gonna hit
Branch
down the road, and I'm really excited about Kool-Aid. He's like 21 years old. Guy played down there at Pinson, Mr. Alabama football.
How many punt return he had?
Four returns for 100 and something.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. 2 of them called back.
He's a great. We've watched him from high school.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, another game at Auburn.
17-0. Whew.
During this game, well, we was watching some highlights. What was it? Ashford rolls out and ball goes over, fumble. They scored. They're up 17-0. Auburn's going down the field,
right,
to go up. Probably going to go up 3 touchdowns, plus 3
at least.
They lose 21-17. Daniels only 8 for 20 with 80 yards. Nussmeier come in, and I'm just not a Nussmeier. They're not going to win any more games with him. He's not a good quarterback. I'm sorry.
I saw Kelly absolutely annihilating him on the sideline.
Nussmeier?
Yes.
Yeah. He's not.
After one play in.
Yeah, but we don't. And you're a coach, you know. But what's been going on in practice?
We don't know.
What about pregame? He's giving him lip. Well, you're starting Daniels anyway. What the crap do I? You know.
Yeah.
So we don't know what they're.
And he looked like he was pretty much ignoring him and just saying, "Yeah, okay,
yeah, whatever. I got you."
Yeah.
And guys, for watchers of the game, high school too. Remember, when you see coaches get on kids, your reaction about the moment coaches are maybe reacting about something at practice that happened that week, or how kids do each other in the game. You see one kid cheap shot on another kid. Well, you don't know what he said to him a few plays before. Just remember, you know what I'm saying. There's more to. Don't be shoot, ready, aim. That's society today. That's what these news organizations want you to do. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, you may see a guy chewing out a corner, but the corner bragged all week about how he's locked down and he's an island.
And you don't see that because you're not at practice.
And then he gets burnt the second play of the game because he's looking in the backfield. And the coach just loses it. I've heard your crap all week.
Yeah.
Johnson Island instead of Reedus Island.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
You go out here and you're looking at the court. You don't even look at your man.
Yeah, right. I seen the coach around here get on a kid this summer that I knew about. He had a problem last year with just, some kind of minuscule, and he nipped that in the bud. Everybody on the field stopped and turned around and looked. It was like, oh. And most people didn't know. I knew, and the coaches knew what he was doing. He was nipping something that had been going on. And you just don't know the whole thing. But
no.
Anyway, for Daniels, he's a good quarterback. Ashford, 337, 2 touchdowns. He did have a pick. They had 4 turnovers.
That's what killed them. That's the only reason they lost. Only reason.
Steiner, 10 tackles. Papaya, 8. Puckett, 6.
Papaya's good.
438 total yards. Tank only had 45 yards. That's my check mark. Why is he running the ball only 12 times? He needed 10 more carries.
See, Rocket Sanders ran at 22 yesterday.
That's what he should have ran. Yeah. He should have had 22 carries.
Hunter looked good yesterday.
Hunter had 6 for 35.
So they run it 18 times between them.
They only rushed the whole game for 100 yards. How you gonna win a game?
And they got a pretty good line.
How you gonna win a game? You're not going. They passed for 337, so it sounds like they're just trying to throw the ball, and they don't trust their line at all for Tank to go out and make any yards. So I don't know what Auburn thinks they're expecting they're going to do, and is Harrison doing a terrible job? I don't know because nobody really knows anything that's going on down there besides the boosters are running it, and nobody can win until they get the knife out of their back.
Right.
Because Steele was stabbing Gus in the back trying to get the job the whole time anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure this guy's getting stabbed in the back by somebody. Maybe not.
LSU 270 total, had 185 rushing.
You hold a team to 270 and don't win in college.
It's turnover.
270's not even bad in high school.
They're going up 3 touchdowns, and they turn the ball over. Turnovers are killing it. We have coaches around here locally that turnovers have destroyed them. It's their whole season.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about they win probably 5 games, 4 games for sure.
And win
if they don't turn the ball over.
Instead.
Yes.
Because of turnovers. Or 6, and they only win 3.
Yes, they should have 6 wins right now. 5 for sure.
Turnovers.
Yes, only that. And they work on it. We say something to them about it because we know the coach personally, coaches, and we just talk and random conversation. They're like, man, we beat the ball with bats and we work on it. They still fumble the ball. But they're just kids. They're not.
And I had somebody.
These guys are semi-pro kids.
Well, you run off a kid, but he said, "No, you can't run off a kid for fumbling."
No, can't do that.
Mean, what are you
trying to develop young men?
I mean, you talk about something national news.
You can get on his butt and try to make him better, but other than that, hey,
you better not do nothing to him much.
So, 21-17. We talked about Alabama. Dean's fixing to break down this game right here. I'm gonna let him do that here in a second. We did do Texas and Auburn. Oh, yes. I did hear this, and y'all can laugh if you want. This is not me reporting this. This is what I heard, and this comes from a Fox Sports people. Mm-hmm. There's no truth in Deion Sanders is going to go to Auburn.
He is not.
He's pretty much said he wants to build the HBCU, black colleges. I love it. Mm-hmm. It's great.
He's done a good job.
And he's the right guy to do it. Mm-hmm. Do y'all agree? I think so, too.
It would be Grambling, Southern, Jackson State, some of those.
Yes, hello, Miss Amanda. How you doing? Thank you for being part of the team. She's our other part of the Matt and Todd Show, along with Aaron. He's also a big part of the show out there in the mountain. These 2 people help us out a lot to spread the word for kids and about our show. Mm-hmm. But let me ask you a question.
All right.
We're just talking here. This is always the worst part. Okay, you're going to work at Auburn. You got to do, here's Auburn. You got to do recruiting, mm-hmm. and you got to win. Mm-hmm. And to win, you usually need to win in recruiting too.
Yeah.
Well, at Auburn, who do you get to recruit against and who do you have to play?
Alabama.
Nick
one
Saban and Kirby Smart. 1 and 2 in the nation. Welcome to Auburn. What kind of splash name would primetime Deion Sanders be on the Plains? He's not too old. The kids know who he is because he's become more popular as of late.
He would take away some of those players.
And he's relatable. Mm-hmm. He knows the culture of the area he's going to recruit, from Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Florida State where he played. Mississippi's where he's working. I'm telling you, Deion Sanders, if they could get him.
You think that's who they need to hire?
Yeah. I think. Now, that's what they said. This was the points. Who wants to go recruit and win against them? That was the point from this commentator. It's Joel Clapp, by the way. I like to do a lot of reaction with him.
Yeah.
And I like his ideas. And sometimes I don't. When I don't, I'll throw a reaction up, do a locker room video, and say, here's where you're wrong there, Joel.
Right.
But who else? And here's the part he didn't say. And he can't say this because they're syndicated. And they got a little thing right down here in the corner of their screen that says Fox Sports 1, and it's owned by somebody. A lot of somebody's, right? We don't have that. We don't have that at all. All we got is I'll put it up there in the corner just for tonight to show you what I'm talking about. It's who owns us right there in the top corner. We do.
Matt and Todd. We don't
so I can say Deion would have a good shot against the Boosters.
Yeah.
I think his attitude and his positive position in media today. And look at these commercials. He's doing these Affleck Goat commercials with Saban. So he's getting out there. I mean, he's being known. And being at Jackson State, I
think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a bad idea.
Who else is going to do it? Who can go toe-to-toe with Saban and Kirby to recruit? Who can go sit down?
I've always heard Freeze could possibly come.
I think so, too.
Yeah. And
but I don't think there's a better fit.
Freeze and Deion. No,
there's not a better fit. There's never been a black guy head coach at Auburn. There's always been talks about how Alabama, this race problem, and how Auburn and all these deep South guys is run by these rich old white guys. Guys, if you want to make a statement, I mean the AD's it's been a black guy, and they've had, not saying colored black people don't work at Auburn, but never been a black head coach.
There's never been a black head coach. No.
In
Alabama.
Well, Sylvester Cream, he was the first player to come there, and he was on staff. He was the first staff member, which was brought in by because he played for Bayer.
Right, he did.
And he was the closest to being a head coach, and he was highly respected.
Yes, a lot of people thought they should have hired him.
I didn't have a bad idea. I mean,
he
it was
went to Mississippi State.
Yeah. Great guy. I like to hire. Go out, write a $100 million check, get Deion Sanders, because when you go sit in the living room, you say, "Hey, little young man, how you doing?" And he talks to these kids.
They love him. They look up to him.
Yeah, I know, man. Who can sit down that and with a big gold necklace and the gold whistle he wears? He's got a gold necklace with a gold whistle on it.
I would think they would love him. I mean, they love him. He's a lot of them's hero.
And the parents know him. I watched him play at Florida State. I watched him play at Atlanta. I watched him play at Atlanta Falcons. He's great. What a great player he is. Who would be against that?
I wouldn't think anybody would. I definitely wouldn't. And I understand. I'm trying to see, man, a score here. Sorry. The Packers and the Patriots were going down to the wire.
Jeff says, Saban needs to hire Sanders. They like each other. And I've seen the commercials. Yes, it is a perfect fit. And he said, I said before
I just think Sanders needs to be the head coach. I don't think.
He could go to Auburn.
He needs to go back being
We'll move on to the next topic. We want our viewer retention to be high. So we'll move to
overtime. The Packers and the Patriots.
We'll
2 minutes left in overtime. All right. So you want me to talk about Ohio State, right?
Yes. See, there's a team out there, guys, that's been creeping around in the quiet. There's somebody talking about them. Will Rogers. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's talking him. Since the talking heads, and I'm gonna do this, and he's gonna tell you about that. They're not talking about them, but right here when you hit the subscribe button to tune in to Matt and Todd Show every Sunday at 6 o'clock, this is the kind of stuff we want to talk about. We want to know what's going on, Dean. What is going on up there?
Well, Ohio State wins 49-10. I think they're going to move up to number 2. Do you not? They may still be number 3.
I sent you the AP.
Yeah, they stayed at 3. C.J. Stroud did not have a good game, and from what I've heard, he's out of the Heisman race, or his stock plummeted. Would you agree with that? He was 13 for 22, 154, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Do you think his Heisman stock should plummet over that? 154 yards and an interception, but they won 49-10.
The win's always the case, but when you're giving an award, we have to remember what the Heisman is.
Mm-hmm.
What is the Heisman? It's supposed to be the best athlete in America.
Right.
Not the best guy, quarterback on the best team.
Right.
I think we get lost in that.
Yeah, it's turned.
It has. In the 10 years, Mark Ingram I feel like Mark Ingram was one of the last legit Heisman winners probably.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Derrick Henry. Jeez, I mean, nobody will stop him.
Yeah, he was legit.
But like RG3, no.
No, I like Burrow winning it. And Newton, we knew he was going to win it after 5 games.
But you're just giving it to the best player on the best team. Maybe that's not what it is. Mm-hmm. So, he's going to take a hit because Hooker and them. I like Hooker to be Ohio State.
Hooker.
But tell us about Ohio State. I mean, how's a team? Are they going to make this playoffs?
No, I don't think they're. I mean, they've still got a good shot. I just don't think they're looking great. Henderson's out. Jigba's out. Mayan Williams fills in for Henderson, rushes for 189 yards and 5 touchdowns, which that's pretty good. Henderson's backup. Egbuka has 70 yards receiving.
Say that name real fast 10 times.
Egbuka, 70 yards receiving. Marvin Harrison Jr., 3 catches for 18 yards and touchdown. Just not a lot of stats, Matt. I mean, they didn't. It's almost like they were very vanilla in this game. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does.
About 425 yards. Didn't show much. Stroud 154 yards. Mayan Williams 189. That's pretty much it. But they've still got 2 key parts. I don't think they can get it done without Jigba and Henderson. That's my personal opinion.
No.
And that's pretty much it on the Ohio State University.
Talking about that, let's do our top 10.
All right.
There. Okay, everybody still hears I say the thing. Okay. Dean, here's your top 10 on screen.
All right.
Now tell us why you like how you're.
Well, I bumped Bama because of their dominant performance without their quarterback.
On the road.
Yesterday. On the road. Ohio State's where I had them. I bumped Georgia at 3. And let's be for real, guys. Come on, they struggle with Missouri and Kent State. Michigan, I see no reason to move them. Oklahoma State with a huge win down at Baylor. My number 5. USC still 6. Clemson, I think they're in the same spot. I put Utah back at 8 because they're rolling, man. I mean, they're rolling. I know some people's got Tennessee at that 8, but I put them in there. Ole Miss because they beat Kentucky, and Penn State because they've beaten everybody. They beat Auburn 41-12. They haven't lost a game, and they're beating people handily too.
A tidbit of information.
And I got Tennessee at 11.
And I spelled Utah wrong, by the way, in case y'all don't.
Utah
is pretty good.
Utah's not. They're not ranked.
UTAH.
Utah.
Yeah. I put it in, but that computer's going to spell it wrong.
Well, guys, I got to be honest. If anybody doesn't know who we're talking about, they probably don't
need to be watching this show. You may want to go back to Jeopardy. I will say about this: Penn State, Singleton, tailback, leading the country.
He's good.
Leading the country, and he's had more games over 100 yards rushing than anybody right now.
Oh yeah, he hammered Auburn. I mean,
he's good. All right, and I want to say something about number 4, Michigan. McCarthy looks like the kid in the forest, the Boy Scout that's just learned how to tie knots, and he's out there in the woods trying to put a 10 up, and he's just not sure if he's making the right knot. I remember doing that with my scout leader, James and Hoppy. God rest him. But that's just what he looks like. He looks like I don't know what I'm. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. Is this? Do I use a Windsor knot here, or am I doing those slip knot?
Is he the man? They're going with him.
Yeah.
Or McNamara. Is McNamara going to end up being the quarterback? Blake Corum has moved into the Heisman race. I saw. Well, let's see.
Utha's not on my list.
Dang it, you ain't got them. How can we both have them not ranked?
I got Utha probably right outside at 12.
I like Tennessee being at 7. Who does Tennessee have this week? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'll check.
Yeah, I'll talk about this.
Okay, you talk about that.
I'll say I like Bama. Like we just talked about, them going on the road. How can you go wrong at Bama being 1? Ohio State 2. They played a good game. They won by 5-6 touchdowns like they should. It's not a bad pick there. Georgia, guys, you won by like 4 points over the worst team in your conference. If Alabama wins by 4 over Vanderbilt, which when Bama struggled against Texas, guess where old Matt put Alabama? Go back and see. I put them at 3. I ranked these by the week. Clemson, DJ had a game. Look, they're winning their conference, and I'm not ready to put USC in the top 4 yet to make the playoffs. So right now, I got Bama playing Clemson, Ohio State playing Georgia. Mm-hmm. That's how it would shake out right now. USC, you receiver out there?
No, Addison. They got 2. They got a guy named Mario Williams too.
They're playing good, and Williams at quarterback.
I think he's definitely still a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, he's definitely in the mix. And I like Michigan. They're 6 for me. I'm not crazy about them. McNamara, they're puddling.
I like that you took them out of the top 4. I kept them in it, but
they're just puddling along.
They're
paddling. They're not playing anybody, which nobody's really playing. Bama had a good game this weekend against a conference opponent.
That was their tough. They've played 2 tough games. Georgia's played 1.
A ranked team.
Right.
And Tennessee, N&M's playing. Who they got this week?
Oh, gosh, I'm supposed to.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry.
Ole Miss, they come in. They play a good ranked Kentucky team. We like Levis. Guys, Levis,
and they're down on him now. I mean, for real.
I'm not down on him.
He got killed.
I'm not down on him.
I mean, like his fumble. He got nailed.
He was in my top 5 quarterbacks for the listing. Ole Miss gets a good win. Okay, it was a good win. And Oklahoma State, Dean's high on them. I watched them play Baylor. They played a great game. Stayed ahead. Their defense, it's just the Big 12 down there. They're just not going to play defense. They let Baylor come back and kind of rattle around, stay in this game. But they're definitely better than Baylor. And last, Singleton, Penn State, Coach Franklin. He does a good job. I like them.
LSU, Tennessee, in Baton Rouge.
At Baton Rouge.
That's a big game.
The Tennessee Vols will be traveling to Tennessee.
Big game.
So that's our...
And Arkansas, Mississippi State play. That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I got in our next week's lineup. We'll go through and pick them. But, and we'll talk about last week's, too.
Did you ever think you'd see when this was the biggest game of the day? Utah and UCLA?
Utah, UTHA, and UCLA.
UTHA ain't been beat yet.
UTHA's great.
They are. UTHA, Idle.
Idle, bye.
Bye.
Now, the AP 10.
We've got everybody talking about how tough Idle and Bye is.
The kids,
they love open.
They like open.
I think they like it. I don't know.
Now, this is the AP 10. Bama, back 1. Mm-hmm. Georgia, Ohio State 3. Michigan 4. Clemson 5. USC 6. Oklahoma State 7. Tennessee 8. Ole Miss 9. And they got Penn State, so we kind of matched.
We're not way bad. We're not.
I don't like Michigan up. They're going to love on them because it's stinking Jim Harbaugh. And khaki pants coach, they like it. I don't care. I just don't. That whole league, dude. I just went through that.
Tennessee's going in my top 10 if they beat LSU. I don't care if I have to tie them with somebody. They'll be tied for 9.
Dude, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Maryland, Indiana, and when you do it by their East and West, they're just not that good.
What about Purdue upsetting Minnesota yesterday?
That was an upset.
Wow. I told somebody I thought Minnesota might have a really good run at this thing, but I like their coach.
I do
and
too.
They've improved. He's done a good job.
I agree.
Hard to get players to come to Minnesota.
There's a player. Mm-hmm. There was a team creeping around out there. Dean broke that down. They're not creeping around anymore. They've been brought to light. Ohio State. We're paying attention. We see what's going on. Mm-hmm. We got them ranked before we got them, and I'm curious to see how they do the rest of the year. Let's see who they play next week. I think I got it wrote down. But look, anyway, and while you're doing that, but here's the player. He's leading the stinking nation in more 300-yard passing games than anybody else. Guys, and it's not a guy that, because his name sounds like he would play in Westerns. Will Rogers. That sounds like a show. That sounds like a show you get up in the morning and you're ready to go listen to. Will Rogers, 31 for 45, 329, 3 touchdowns, 85 ranking for QBR, 42-24 over Jimbo Fisher's the Fighting Aggies. The 12th man was not enough.
Wow.
2020, 11 touchdowns, 2,000 yards. 2021, 4,700 yards, 36 touchdowns. And so far this year, he has 20 touchdowns with about 1,700 yards. His QBR, his quarterback rating is 142. Mm-hmm. That's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady ratings.
Wow. He's good.
He's no one's number one quarterback. 8,500 passing yards, 66 touchdowns,
How many
19 picks.
He's probably thrown about 1,500 passes.
Guys,
I'm not taking away from his numbers. You got to be a man to throw 1,500.
84-30.
66 touchdowns.
19 picks.
That's a good ratio.
Out of 66 touchdowns, he's on through. Out of 8,000 yards thrown,
19.
Less than 20 picks.
Wow. Do you think they're for real? No.
Well, they don't have any other scheme. They're not balanced enough to run the ball, and they're defensively kind of scattered. And their coach is a lame brain. But he did give Miss Courtney, I think her name was, some marriage advice. She asked him about.
He had fun. Looked like he had some fun with that.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
He eloped, run away, and
I've gotten off his back a little because his plan seems to be working a little.
He's a basket case,
but they're not great. They're about like they were, are they not?
Yeah.
Maybe a little better.
Yeah.
I don't. Will Rogers.
That sounds like a show you watch. Hey, what are you watching tonight? Will Rogers show. It's going to be on a little bit. It's pretty good. Are you watching? He's on The Walking Dead. No, Will Rogers show. Say that real. Will
Rogers show.
Yeah, they play with Utha. He may go to Utha later.
They're good, buddy.
I watch Utha.
Utha versus Oakland.
I want to mention this. Cherokee County back this week. We'll play Fultondale. Mm-hmm. Cedar Bluff homecoming week. All you past Tigers, guys, we need you out there. Go support your old team. Come out there and represent your class. I'm class 96.
91.
Class 91. Playing Coosa Christian Conquers. The Traveling O'Briens. 1A Region 7. It's going to be a good game.
I think so.
Good homecoming atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Hope everybody's just safe. The Fighting Heaths will be hosting Paul Benefield and company. The Fife Red Devils, Gainesville, will have Decatur. And Spring Garden will go to Pleasant Valley.
Spring Garden in Pleasant Valley, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
Who's Valley Head got this week? Is it on there? I mean, Aaron, if you're watching.
Yes.
I think it's their time. Gillsville's off this week, right? I think Gillsville's open this week. They play open. They already played idle. Now they play open. I think Knapp told me they had 2 bye weeks.
They play Woodville the 30th, and then they do not play again until the 14th. They play Decatur when they come back.
All right. So, tough schedule. Open and bye. In the same year? I don't know how that worked out. I think they started week 0 and had an open week. Had some trouble getting the 10th.
Sam Cannon is on. Go Big Red. Class 91. Yes,
Sam,
sir,
I'll text
Jeff.
you later.
And Aaron, thank you for your information. That's why we have great people like Aaron on there. They will be playing Appalachian. That'd be a good game. I remember I wrote that down last week. They got like Appalachian. Do y'all play Raglan next?
Or better hope not. Raglan's
it's like
real.
Appalachian. I'll just tell you. They got Appalachian, Woodville, Galesville, Collinsville. That's who it was.
Okay, Collinsville. Yeah.
They're going to end which is always a good mountain-style football game.
Right.
And it will be at Appalachian. So if your team's off this week, travel up Appalachian and go see the Purple Tigers.
They're playing well.
Leading the region.
I'm talking about Appalachians playing well.
Yeah, they're leading the region right now, Valley Head.
Yes.
Taking care of business. Bain and Company Robinson, I think he said he was okay, was not injured or nothing serious. So
leading rushing team in the state.
We will
all right.
Kick it off there. And we went through our top 10, and now we'll talk about next week's games.
How we did.
And
we didn't miss anything last week.
The week before, just like 1,000.
Oh.
I don't think we missed any.
No.
This week, not so fast.
We're just picking them.
Not so fast.
Doing the spread. All right.
Because I got destroyed this week.
I did pretty good.
Ole Miss. I had Kentucky. I thought Kentucky may put it on. Missed that one. We both like Bama. You had Mississippi State. Missed that one.
That was luck.
I had A&M. Georgia, of course, we like Georgia, and we both like Texas. And you had Oklahoma State. I had Baylor. I missed that one. We both like Clemson. Congratulations to Fighting Sweeney's. 37 straight home wins, leading the FBS right now in college football straight wins. Michigan, we like that one. We like Utah, and I got destroyed by. I don't know why. And I told you when I picked.
Well, I just picked different from you on that one.
I just thought, well, I mean,
I actually thought deep down, I just went with that just for.
I just want to be different.
Flare up. Yeah.
But now Baylor, I really did.
Now
I really did think Baylor would beat them.
Yeah, you did. I knew you did.
I did that. So I did miss. I flat out admit it, where I was wrong, where I was right, and I was wrong about Kentucky. They just wasn't ready.
They should have won.
Playing at Ole Miss, I would have been right. When his arm goes back, ball comes out.
They should have won. They threw a touchdown to go up with a minute left.
They were ahead. They actually won the game, but the ref decided to take it off the board because he felt it's more important for him to be seen on TV for making a procedure penalty when a guy's stinking set.
I thought he was set.
Or I would have just missed the one of basically Baylor. And I did think Baylor would beat Okie State. I did. I admit it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I thought I'd been riding. You got me pumped on Baylor, and then he got Oklahoma State jumped up there. So
I'm high on Oklahoma State. I dialed out on Baylor after BYU beat them, and BYU just handled them the whole game out there.
Yeah, that was ahead the whole game.
That. Just dominated them. I thought.
And the Zapp kid is one taking over at for
New England.
At New England, I think he played. Yeah, look at
Brady
Zapp. I got it on there. It's done went off. So obviously, I ain't watching these psycho communist network.
60 Minutes.
Communist Broadcasting System. What that stands for, if you didn't know.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't watch their news much.
I don't watch none of that news.
NFL scores.
Yeah, see the score and find out where it's at. I think he's from BYU, and we'll start picking some games for next week.
I honestly don't know. Packers won 27-24.
27-24.
Raiders beat the Broncos. Cardinals beat the Carolina Panthers. Bills beat the Ravens 23-20. Josh Allen,
not terrible, not a great. Had about 200 passing.
He's good.
Lamar didn't have such a. He had a little less.
Yeah, he got stopped today.
Yeah, they stuffed him good.
Hurts with another big win. The Cowboys are looking fantastic.
Cowboys won again.
Falcons won again.
They did win. Won by 3.
Nick Chubb, Cedartown leading the NFL in rushing. If you wonder what kind of athletes come out of Cedartown.
Did Henry and the Titans win today?
Yes, they beat the Colts and Matt Ryan. And Giants beat the Bears.
The Bears.
Jets beat the Steelers. Wow.
Yes, my Steelers took a dive. The Jets won on the last play of the game. I mean, like 12 seconds left, and the Jets scored. I swear.
The Lions are so much better. It's just unreal. But they got beat 48-45. The Jets are so much better. It's unreal.
I like the Jets. Over the past few years, I mean, they're not a bad team.
There's not bad football teams in pro football.
They're NFC. No, they're AFC. My bad.
And the Chiefs and Buccaneers play in 20 minutes, and tomorrow night the Rams and the.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that game. We'll turn that on here in a second. We're about done.
Yeah.
Thank everybody for hanging out with us again. We hope y'all got interested, and I'm starting the show a little different now. So for the weeks to come, I'm going to open the show quickly, and we're going to jump right into bang, bang, bang. 3 topics, what we're doing. Then we're going to run our intro, and then we'll do our commercial spot as we get in to the show, like before we do our picks or something. So that's it'd be a good time to do that right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Our picks.
You'll do a commercial spot while we.
All right.
And we're gonna come back, so y'all hang around for just 10 seconds, and we'll come back and do our picks. Thank y'all very much for hanging around. Just 10 seconds. All right, guys, welcome back. Thank you to all our sponsors. Jerry Mobley Concrete and Construction. You go out there and get free estimates. Holler at him. CNC Rentals Equipment. Go rent backhoes and diggers. Go buy blowers, mowers, blades, parts, anything Fort Payne. Great place, great group of guys. Hunter Stone, see them. Joe Roper McKenzie, Tricky Eye Clinic. Guys, without them, we wouldn't have nothing. Warrior Gym, Corey Culberson. Corey, game sponsored by him. The Gales were game sponsored by him. And, of course, Scott Lloyd, retired DA. Any law needs, he's got you covered. We'll start backwards. Big game. I like this game. Utah at UCLA. I know some of you guys are like, well, that's bull crap. I want to watch Auburn play Georgia. And okay, that's fine. And I'm telling you now, since we're going, before I say this.
That's the game of the day.
Remember this. And I'm going to write this down. Don't be surprised. DBS. Auburn at Georgia. They're not going to win this by 21.
I wouldn't doubt that a bit.
I'm just telling you, it's the oldest rivalry in the South.
I wouldn't even doubt. I don't think Auburn will beat them, but
it's the oldest rivalry in the South, Dean. They discovered that their buzzard flying around the pasture down there when they beat Georgia in overtime or something, or 6-0. First football game down there in the pasture when they played on the Plains. They were not Auburn. They were Alabama Men's Methodist School. Then they were Polytech. Then they Auburn. So let me teach some of you Auburn people something about your school. When they were Alabama Men's Methodist College and played Georgia,
they beat them.
They beat Georgia. They adopted the War Eagle at that day.
Okay.
Don't be surprised if that's the club. I know you're seeing, but they had LSU beat 30-0 nearly, and yeah. If they take care of the football against Georgia, they won't lose by 40. They may lose by 20. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I think they'll be fine.
We can go along with that.
I don't.
But
I mean,
that's just something from my Uncle Matt.
But I don't think they'll just get drilled.
No. Don't be surprised. Utah at UCLA.
I'm sticking with the Utes. I just think they're a lot better. And I'll be honest with you, I think they're better than anybody out there.
Yeah.
I think they're better than USC.
That's at 2:30. Another game. 6:30 on SEC Network, guys. Listen in. South Carolina. I got it. I got 17,000 channels right there. South Carolina. This is a bounce back game at Kentucky. Can Coach Stoops get them back up? They lose because of the ref. They had the points on the board. The ref decides he wants to be famous, be on TV, and be a jerk.
25-22. They were up.
I like Kentucky.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna put MNT.
I don't even think that'll be a good game.
Texas Tech at Okie State at 2:30.
Texas Tech's not bad, but I'm gonna stick with the Cowboys.
Yeah. M&T. Florida State at North Carolina State. The Wolfpack. They bounce back. Florida State lay a little irritated. It's at North Carolina.
Florida State really is. So I'm gonna go North Carolina State.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think Florida State's bad.
It's at the Wolfpack, and they're not great. They played defensively pretty sound against Clemson.
They're a good team. I don't think they're going to win it all.
They're not top 10.
They're not bad.
They're not top 10. A lot of people thought they was. I'm going to save that one. And we just talked about this. Auburn at Georgia. We're both going Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
But just be careful. 2:30 on CBS. If we come back here next Sunday and we say in overtime, Auburn has beat Georgia 36-35.
Yeah, don't be shocked.
Don't go, you're an idiot, Matt. You never say it. I'm just saying.
It's possible.
Only that game.
Yeah, just because of that game.
It's the oldest game in the South. Arkansas at Mississippi State.
I'm going to stick with the Hogs.
At 11 o'clock on SEC. I'm hesitant to write my name on this one.
I don't know.
And
I just can't pick Mississippi State over them.
And because of what I told you, here's the thing. And this is both ways. I'm not trying to sway you pick. Arkansas defense, do they have the guys
to stop
Will Rogers from throwing 500 yards on them? I don't know. I don't think so. But does Mississippi State defense
have the guys to stop Rocket, and does he get his passing game?
Because we know who Arkansas's defense has.
Yeah, Poole and
Sanders. And their line, they're tough up front. I don't know if he gets enough time to make all those throws.
Right.
And they're good enough with KJ It's at Mississippi State. I think
it's going to be wild.
I think Mississippi State keeps it close.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think Arkansas wins.
I like Pig Suey. Red River Shootout, Texas at Oklahoma at 11 o'clock, KBC.
You don't even want to know what I'm going to pick. Guess. Is Gabriel out for Oklahoma?
That's a good question.
Let's see. Let me make my pick after that.
And let's see. At Tennessee, that's our game of the week. Tennessee at LSU.
Who you pick? I'm going to stick with.
I like Tennessee.
The Tennessee, but I will say this. I think that's going to be a good game.
All right, we got Don't Be Surprised.
DBS.
DBS.
And I'm going to pick the Sooners. Wait, well, hold it.
Oh.
Gabriel.
What about
Oklahoma?
Ewers?
Is he back?
I don't know. I ain't heard nothing. 23-20, Bills beat Ravens. Yeah.
Top stories.
Washington Redskins.
Hitting head while sliding.
Oh, my God, what?
Okay, I don't think he's going to play.
Bless his heart.
Let's say Quinn Ewers. I'll tell you here in just a second.
Because I ain't heard nothing. This great sports network that you guys pay $200 a dang week for. I mean, you're paying $200 a month for this great sports, ESPN, Disney.
He's back. I'm going to go with Texas.
Yeah, no doubt.
Gabriel's out. Ewers back. Ewers is the real deal. He showed no fear whatsoever versus Alabama and the top-rated defense in the country preseason. He's like, whatever.
And their offensive coordinator. That's going to be at 11 o'clock on ABC. Also at 11 o'clock on ESPN.
I think that'll be a close game, too.
Game of the day, Tennessee at LSU.
Wow, 11. I'm so excited about
3 games.
Early. Seriously.
At 11, SEC Network, Arkansas, Mississippi State. I don't know. We'll just have a laptop, my phone.
11, too?
And go, yeah.
Huh.
We'll have laptop, TV, and my phone. The other night I was watching Auburn play, and on my phone I was watching another game.
If y'all can, donate us about 700 TVs. We'll get sports going. You ever seen Casino, that movie where they go in that gambling den and there's just TVs on every...
Yeah. Now the game of the night...
They're betting on them. We're not betting on them.
The game of the night, A&M at Bama. Little revenge. Jimbo's coming in. They're flying around out there and thinking they got something done. Had the game what they had against Mississippi State.
I don't think that there's any way possible that A&M beats Alabama.
Let's see something here.
Alabama should. I just don't. Think. I don't think so. If it was out in Dallas, maybe, possibly. But that coming off after giving up 44 to Mississippi State, they've had a rough 3 weeks. They played Arkansas, Miami, and Mississippi State. No, I don't think so.
Bro. Next up, let's see.
I don't think so, man.
I'm doing.
I don't think he'll kill them, but I think Alabama will win.
Yeah, when I'm looking at these lines here, Mississippi State and A&M, and I'm telling you about what they put up on them.
Mm-hmm. 42 points.
I think Mississippi State can put 42 on A&M. Wouldn't you think Bama could?
That's what's so weird about college football. Alabama may come out and put 14 up on them. It's so weird. It's just, I think these players are so beat up and they're up and down. And
you like Bama though?
Oh yes, definitely. I don't think that's going to happen. I like Bama 38-21.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have a 38-21.
And I like Georgia 34-13 overall.
Let's see. Well, I'm going to assume that.
I'm not going to pick all the scores.
No, I'm going to assume that we'll just pick Bama game.
Yeah.
I don't put it. I'm going to assume Bryce is playing.
I talked to somebody before I came over here that said they were like, I reckon they've not really said, but they said it's certain. All they said was his injury wasn't serious. So I'm taking it that means.
Well, yeah, it's only been. This is not the first time this has happened.
Right.
And Saban said he bounces back in a few days.
Yeah.
They probably do that there's a thing you do with therapy, the cold sonogram type thing.
And
does pulse and heat in the muscle.
And I will say one thing about Bryce Young, and he's not the only one that does it. Several players do it, but he was Milrose biggest fan.
Golly, he was running up down that sideline.
He was excited about him doing that.
It's like he was his brother, like they was best friends their whole life.
Well, I think Young knows he's not going to lose his fight, but I thought it was classy.
Guys,
he was. Did he run up the sideline with him?
He did. That was a good time. We've had a good time, Dean.
Yeah.
Had a good show. We've been on over an hour.
Hour and 12. Well, actually, come on. Hour 15.
Yep. All right, everybody hold it down, and we will be this week. What are we doing this week?
I'll be at Coosa Christian.
I think that's where I'm going. I think
City Bluff, because of homecoming.
I think that's where I have scheduled myself to be when I do our scheduling.
Yes,
why would you not load it up?
Sandrock plays at 5.
No, they're at home.
Where does Spring Garden play?
At Pleasant Valley.
And Center plays at Fulton Dale?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got, now I make this back. I make this before school starts. As soon as I get schedule, I go ahead and make it out. October 7th. You can read what it says. That's where we'll. And then the next week will be Center plays Etowah, and then Geraldine's at Piedmont. Todd may be Galesville, Decatur. We'll see how this works. These are, and the rest of these, because these are scattered, because the season kind of gets scattered there towards the end. Galesville versus Valley Head, and you got Hoover at Thompson the 21st. October 28th at Fort Payne Center, maybe. Etowah's at Southside. Victory Christian's at Coosa. Central's at Prattville. The 29th is Fife versus Sylvania, which is the Battle of Skirham.
Skirham Creek.
I've never been to one.
That may be a good game. And I tell you what,
I'm sorry, it won't be good. It's not. It'll be 40 to nothing.
I talked to Section last night. Hawks Bluff is 4-2.
Yeah, I did listen to.
It's playing well this year. They're in. It's Sylvania Geraldine 5, but they are at a good shot at getting that 4. They play Ohatchee this week. And the only losses have been to
Aaron. They play Appalachian. Valley Head's at Appalachian Thursday.
This Thursday.
Yep. And be careful when y'all go up there. If you go up there to the concession stand, thanks for coming by, Jeff, Mark, Sam. We appreciate everybody. We had a little less. Between 15 and 20 instead of 20 or 30 on. Yeah. Because we didn't do high school tonight. We just did college.
Most people like hearing about high school.
Thank y'all for coming by, and we do appreciate it. We'll catch you guys through the week, and we'll be at Cedar Bluff homecoming, I guess. Yeah, because everybody's kind of traveling. In Sandrock, I was out there. I went up there the week before. Went out there to their last game, and then they. Let's see, who would they play? Who was that game? West End. Yeah, I was at the West End game.
Yes, West End.
Good luck to everybody through the week, and we'll catch y'all out through the week. I'll be out tomorrow. See, Keelan at Galesville, Coach Knapp.
Keelan Higgins, Player of the Week.
Player of the Week. I will have your shirt for you, young man. I always like talking to him. He's a good kid. I've known him since he's been here, and everybody here pulls for Galesville. You kind of notice that?
Yes.
They kind of get
They want to see them do good.
Yeah, because they're limited in a lot of things. Yes. And if you're not from here, you just have to be. My mama taught school over there, and it's limited. Student populations.
And I did hear I heard an interesting stat this week about Center, Alabama. And I don't know if this is true, and y'all can say you're full of crap. Somebody told me today that Center is grossly overpopulated. That's why there's so much traffic here. Do you buy that, or do you? Okay.
No, that's just people moving through this area, and it's kind of
it's right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, it's kind of a tourist thing.
Gadsden, Chattanooga, it's in the middle of everything.
411 is been a main section of road for over 100 years, about 100 years.
So you got, and it's in the middle.
We're talking about from Cave Springs. Mm-hmm. That road runs from Cave Springs through when you go straight through at East Aboga.
Right.
And you go straight through at Rainbow City, then turn right to go out toward Bowes.
Yes, that's where it runs to.
Guys, we're talking about from Cave Springs to Down towards South Alabama. Not trying to think the name of that town. I can't think of it. But it's like going out that
down there. No, Lincoln down that way.
Yeah.
I think it cuts into 77.
But yeah, it's busy through here. I don't think it's overpopulated.
Well, somebody.
But we're overpopulated with storage buildings. Why don't we have 85,000 storage buildings?
It sounded to them because I've joked around about it. Everybody knows I joke around about the traffic right here. But somebody asked me that day. He goes, somebody had on Facebook, what's going on in Center? It's Wednesday morning at 11, and it's bumper to bumper.
Well, one, if you're in the middle, they're working on the road, and
they've backed up things.
They've drugged this out. The state, which my granddaddy retired from, so I can talk about them. Mm-hmm. They put looks like probably about a 10, 15 man job. They got about 3 guys out there working on it about 1 day a week.
Oh, Lord.
And they got them working on it. Well, let's show up about 10 in the morning, and we'll get done about 2. Mm-hmm. So they show up at the worst time of day, and they pick to start it during the worst time of year, during the middle of the summer, and they can't finish it. And it's probably because they don't have enough workers because they won't work. Nobody's going. They probably don't have enough help. Honestly, that's probably why they can't get it done in time. Because I'm sure that little median to pour that. Yeah. Dude, that's a week job. They've been working on it for 4 months.
So you're saying that it's keeping the traffic back?
Absolutely. It's 1-lane road there at Walmart. So,
well, Donnie Webb, if you're watching, Somerset, Kentucky is the busiest town I've ever been in my life for its size.
Have you ever been to L.A.? I have.
I'm talking about Somerset.
It's not even close to what goes on here. It's not even close.
But do you know why Somerset's traffic's so bad? Red lights.
Well,
they're long.
Well,
I'm talking about a minute and 2.
Well, yeah, this one here at Walmart won't let me out in the morning. Mm-hmm. It stops.
It literally won't let you. I mean, it just won't change.
Yeah, it turns across green, and I stop. Then they stop red. Then it goes back green again. And they go again. So after a few times, they have to wait. Red light's not good, and they need to take that red light back down up here in front of American Apparel. There's no reason to stop that side road coming down from the school with a red light. No reason. Mm-hmm.
Just stop signs.
If you pull up there.
Just a stop sign for them. Yeah. Everybody else just keeps going.
Keep moving. I mean, it gets busy times through there, but only people come down through there if they're cutting up to the school and at 3 o'clock during the buses. Or put a light up there and just leave it green all the time. When the buses pull up, they hit a remote and they can stop traffic to let the buses go out.
It's crazy to stop right there. Crazy.
There's no reason to stop right there.
Because I usually, to be honest with you, I come down that hill and I'm humping it, and all of a sudden it's like...
There's no reason to stop right there.
No, I agree.
All right.
But
we'll be at Cedar Bluff Friday.
Cedar Bluff Friday.
Yeah. Y'all keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. And as always, we love you. And we thank everybody for coming by and hanging out with us. See you next week. All right. Peace.